Oh, good.
Mr. Brad Wheeler, spokesperson for the Texas Department of Transportation, is with us. Brad, good morning, man. Long time no hear from you, man. What's going on?
It's been a long time. I'm up to my ears in construction right now, Todd.
Yeah.
Good morning, Don.
Hey.
Tell us about I-35 and what we can expect this weekend. It may surprise a few folks. Catch us up to date. Start at the beginning. We want to hear all the details.
All right, so we've got a traffic shift that's going to take place this weekend. Starting at 9 o'clock tonight, we're going to squeeze traffic down to 2 lanes in either direction on I-35. That's going to be from right about where you guys are located, Ruttenberg Lane, south to US 290 east. So in that section, we're going to squeeze traffic down to 2 lanes, and then we're going to move the northbound lanes toward the west, so they'll be driving in southbound lanes. It sounds confusing, but there will be barriers there so that oncoming traffic is not an issue. There will be striping and signs and all of that for traffic control. The reason we're doing that, guys, is we've got this major project, which you're fully aware of because it's right outside our front door and your front door. We're building 3 big flyovers at I-35 and US 183. We're also doing some work down at St. John's. So at St. John's, very early tomorrow morning, they should be taking down that bridge, what's left of it. We took down half of the U-turn bridge there. We're going to take down the other half this weekend. And then we're also going to hang some big beams on one of the flyovers here at I-35 and US 183, and that'll probably happen sometime Saturday night, Sunday morning. So this is a major undertaking, and the word we want to get out is avoid I-35 if at all possible this weekend, especially in that area.
Well, just between you and I, Brad, we kind of tell people that every day.
Right. First thing we say, top of the hour.
So let's talk about alternate routes. I mean, 130, that's a way to get around it if you're just going through town, but if you have to do business in town, is there a better option for us?
Yeah, so as you say, 130 is a great option if you're going around town or you need to get around and then maybe hit one of the other arterials like 290 or something like that. But MOPAC is another option. US 183 would be an option depending on where you're coming from. But I would suggest that if you're going through that section and you're staying in town, use the surface streets. You know, Lamar's not a bad alternate route to use. So find one of the surface streets you're used to, and that should take you in the north-south direction just to get around this heavy traffic that we're expecting this weekend.
So beginning late this evening, reducing some lanes, and then open them back up when?
So it starts at 9 o'clock tonight, and we're not going to open back up until 5 a.m. Monday morning. This is an entire weekend thing. Now, we did one of these traffic shifts for the southbound side, basically, early June. That went very well because folks heeded warnings and they stayed away from 35, and we're hoping they'll do it this time as well, and that way all the operations will go smoothly.
And after this weekend, it doesn't mean the project's over. This is just one particular phase, right?
No. Well, we're not planning on finishing this project until about mid-2021, and I will let you guys know. We're going to get word out next week, but I'll let you guys know first that starting next weekend, we're going to hang a beam over the northbound lanes of US 183 right at 35. So that's going to mean there's going to be a closure on 183. And then the following weekend after that, we're going to hang a beam over the southbound. So we've still got a lot of work to do. The good news is once we get those beams on this flyover hung, the other 2 flyovers that we're building at that intersection should not close down the main lanes, at least not full closures or traffic shifts or anything like that.
And once all of this is done, it's basically going to create another spaghetti bowl, if you will, of bridges and overpasses. It'll be easier to go from 183 Research to I-35 northbound and eventually southbound as well.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be great once it's completed. As you say, you're not going to have to get off on the frontage road and then go through a signal to get onto 183 or to get on 35 from 183 northbound. So you've got 3 flyovers. That's going to take you from southbound 35 to northbound 183. Southbound 35 to southbound 183, which is the one that we're working on this weekend. And then you're going to have one from northbound 35 that goes to southbound 183. So you'll have flyovers basically in just about every direction there at that intersection, which is really going to help traffic flow, and hopefully we won't get those bottlenecks that we sometimes see here right outside.
Beautiful. And I would assume you got a website people could check out. A lot of business owners in this area might have questions, but also follow you guys on Twitter, right?
Yeah, it's always a good idea to follow us on Twitter. We're tex.austin on Twitter, so that's a good handle to follow because all of the lane closures and information is on there and crash data as well. But my35construction.org is the website to go to, and if you go to Twitter, you'll find links to the website on there as well. But you'll find all the information about this project and all the other projects we've got going on 35. Later this month, we're going to break ground up at Palmer Lane. We're going to reconfigure that intersection to a diverging diamond. So we got a lot of work going on 35, and the goal is to try to keep up with population growth, right? It's exploding in Austin, and we got a lot of people moving here. It means a lot more vehicles on the roadways, and we're really needing to upgrade our main artery through Austin.
That makes perfect sense. And also just a nice reminder, proceed with caution. A lot of men wearing hard hats and vests walking around construction sites. Pay attention, right?
Absolutely. I'm glad you said that because we do see a number of crashes in work zones. Most of those crashes are due to driver inattention or speed, a lot of rear-end collisions, and we also have workers that have been injured in work zones across the state because drivers are not paying attention or going too fast. So slow down because traffic does shift in work zones. It might be reconfigured in work zones, and you might not be familiar with the traffic patterns, and also vehicles may stop suddenly. So you want to be prepared, leave plenty of room between you and the car in front of you if you can.
I got to ask you specifically about this project that's been going on right here.
Brad.
You know where we are, the radio station, right?
I'm right next door to you, Brad.
That's right, of course. Right. So
we got complaints, Brad.
Good Lord Almighty, how long is it going to be for me to take my life in my hands trying to get out of this parking lot every single dang day? And everybody in this room would agree.
It's dangerous, Brad.
Yeah, it is. How long is that going to go on?
You know,
and what exactly is that going to?
And what the hell are you doing?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
So when we build the flyover, right, it's going to come in on the northbound frontage road, right in front of our building, and there'll be a merge onto I-35, which is going to be closer to your building, and so we're reconfiguring the frontage roads so that the traffic flows there, right? Because we're taking up some space with this flyover. We're also reconfiguring some entrance-exit ramps. So all of that's going to change in that area. And I know you guys, you see that traffic that squeezes down right before your building, and there's a little wall there, and so you know folks are not slowing down. And that's the one thing that we can't control. We can't control driver behavior. And if everybody would slow down to the 45 miles per hour on that frontage road in front of your building, it would make it a lot safer. So
Absolutely.
We've reached out to law enforcement, asked them to put extra patrols over there, but you know, it's also one of the problems we deal with, guys, is that in a construction zone, there's nowhere to pull somebody over, nowhere for the law enforcement to stage, and so we're trying to figure out some sort of a plan that would work in construction zones. Maybe down the road we actually build a little inlet for law enforcement so that they can patrol. They have a place to patrol. But we feel your pain. We've got it going outside our building as well, and we're going to try to wrap that up just as soon as we can. But it's gonna be several more months before that.
I don't think you have any idea what I'm going through. I don't think you feel a dang thing.
Thank you, Brad. Brad Wheelis from the Texas Department of Transportation.
I know Don is stressed.
Yeah, so if you get stressed out and delayed this weekend, don't blame the construction workers. Blame Brad Wheelis. He's the guy you should talk to.
Absolutely.
Done.
Yeah, most people do.
Yeah. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate
Nothing new to him.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate that. Brad Wheelis, Texas Department of Transportation.
Good
He's
night.
a ball of energy, isn't he?
He is. He's an
How do you get that excited about that job?
You have to do drugs to do that job.
Right,
That's the thing.
I mean, he's a ball of energy.
Yeah, he is. All right, it is 9:13 here on the Todd and Don Show. We're going to put all of that information, some maps and some notes that you might need to know about on the front page of our website at newsradioklbj.com.